Kia ora te whānau, we are here at the kekeno enclosure with Laurel. Hi Laurel.
Hey, how you going?
So, who are we going to meet today over here?
Well, here, this is our pool for our two fur seals. We have Kaiako and Orua.
I know that they're pretty special because they can dive really deep, like in fact 200 metres deep, is that right?
Yeah, so the New Zealand fur seal, which Kaiako is, they have the deepest and longest dive out of any fur seals anywhere in the world.
So if you think of like the Sky Tower and you think how it's really tall and it's got that fat bit and then it goes right down, if you imagine the fat bit, they can dive all the way to the ground. That is 200 metres, that's pretty bonkers. The other day I was on the beach and I saw a fur seal and I just kept clear. Is that the right thing to do?
Definitely, you couldn't have done anything better. The best thing we can do is really give them their space. Normally they're just there to rest, have a bit of time out before they head back out to sea. But if you are concerned and you can see injuries or blood, you can actually ring the Department of Conservation's hotline, which is 0800 DOC-HOT, so really easy to remember.
Nice.
And let them know and they can send a ranger out to check on them.
Perfect, that sounds easy enough. 0800 DOC-HOT.
So with all this talk about our seals, should we go in and meet them?
Yes, I can't wait. Let's do it.
Awesome. Good job, touch. Well, hello. So this here is Kaiako. He is our male New Zealand fur seal.
Wow, he's beautiful.
He is. Now he is 15 years old now, which is getting a little bit old for a fur seal, but he is doing really well, aren't you, Monkey? He arrived in 2005 and he was actually hit by a boat, unfortunately, out on the west coast. And that cut straight through his flipper joint. So the elbow in a seal is actually where the flipper meets the body. So you can see a little bit there. We don't have quite the same movement as we have in this one, but he does get around really well. Now, unfortunately, also a bump to the head has left him blind in his left eye, and you can see the damage there, the whiteness.
So what about this eye over here?
And this eye, more recently, because of his old age, has unfortunately developed a cataract, which is sort of leaving him about 98% blind now.
Wow, he can't see much at all then, can he?
Not much at all, but he's come through it really well. I've only got one fish left, and that means it's the end of your feed. Back up. Good boy. Last one. All done, Kai.
Oh. I am just so fascinated with these creatures. I'm just in awe of them.
Awesome.
They're just so majestic in the water. They just float like they're weightless, you know?
Yeah.
Like in zero gravity.
Yeah.
And then they get out of the water and then they're like, you know?
Kaiako is an older seal who prefers to lay around basking in the sun, but the other fur seal in this pool is a bit younger and often full of energy. He was also rescued from the wild.
So this is Orua. He's our subantarctic fur seal. Initially, he was actually released, but he swam all the way back inland and the Department of Conservation brought him back to us. And then after further investigation, we found that he actually has a cataract, a lot like Kaiako does.
Yeah.
But he had that developing from a really young age, so he was about 9 months old when he came to us. I thought we would show you one of the newish behaviours that Orua has been working on to help us teach our visitors and the classes that we work with through education a little bit how pollution and rubbish in our water affects these guys. Right here we've got a lovely homemade bit of fishing net. Fur seals are naturally very curious animals. They often interact and play with things that they come across in the ocean. Quite often there are bits of fishing nets or fishing line that get snagged, they get cut off and they're floating out in the water. And so because they come across these items, they start playing with them. It really doesn't take much for them to get tangled or caught up in them. Unfortunately, it's most often little fur seal pups who start to play, and of course as they get larger, the net or the item that's caught around them does get tighter. And all of these things are pretty fatal to animals out in the wild.
For sure.
Orua here is the lucky one because I can now go ahead and take that off.
Wow.
Good boy, well done. And unfortunately, a lot of the seals and other wildlife obviously aren't that lucky.
No, yeah. So if you're out there on the water and you've got rubbish, don't chuck it overboard, just put it in the bin.
And the same goes for if you're on land as well. So we share our coastline with these guys. It's their home and it's really our responsibility to look after it. So put it in the bin.
Just put it in the bin. Pop it in there.
Great work, Orua. You've definitely earned yourself a fishy ice block treat.
There are over 200,000 fur seals across all of New Zealand, so if you're lucky enough to see one, make sure you give them plenty of space. And I know that's hard because they're cute, but they are wild animals.